The bright lights of the television studio in Hollywood cast a warm glow over the stage where four couples sat with expectant smiles. This was the beginning of the Newlywed Game, a journey into the hearts and habits of those who had recently pledged their lives to one another. The announcer's voice echoed through the hall, introducing the participants to the world. Couple number 1 had exchanged rings 12 months ago, the charming Catherine and Kirk Ferguson. Couple number 2 had recited their vows 15 months ago, the lively Miranda and Conan Matthews. Couple number 3 had joined together just 6.5 weeks ago, the enthusiastic Julie and David Marcus. And finally, couple number 4 had also made it official just 6.5 weeks ago, the cheerful Karen and Joseph Griezmann. Then, the star of the show, Bobby Eubanks, stepped into the spotlight to the sound of thunderous applause. He thanked the audience and welcomed the couples, feeling the excitement in the air. He asked if they were ready to play, and the collective yes from the couples set the stage for the first round. Bobby explained that the husbands would answer questions while the wives were escorted to a soundproof area so they could not hear the inquiries. He reminded the men that each match would earn them 5 points, leading up to a grand prize of a great second honeymoon for the couple with the most points. As the ladies departed, Bobby turned to the husbands for the first question. He asked which of several actions their wives would say they do more often because of them: roll their eyes, hold their tongue, cover their ears, or shake in their boots. Joseph was the first to speak, suggesting he holds his tongue because of the little things his wife does that drive him nuts. David, on the other hand, predicted he rolls his eyes at her. Conan agreed with the eye rolling, admitting he sometimes groans while doing so. Kirk rounded out the group by also choosing the eye roll, even demonstrating the motion for the camera. The second question moved into the realm of romance. Bobby asked the men to imagine a graph comparing their romantic activity before and after marriage. David predicted his wife would say the graph went down by 100%. Conan also saw a downward trend, estimating a 50% drop, attributing it to the recent arrival of their baby. Kirk followed suit with a 50% decrease, calling it a man thing. However, Joseph broke the pattern, confidently predicting the graph would go up by 20%. For the third question of the round, Bobby presented a fill-in-the-blank sentence about give and take in marriage. He asked what part of their wife they would give to science and what they would take to the junkyard. Conan said he would give her fuzzy slippers to science and take her bicycle to the junkyard. Kirk opted to give her toes to science and take her clothes to the junkyard. Joseph suggested giving her brain to science and taking her lower back to the junkyard. David concluded by saying he would give her feet to science and take her car to the junkyard. While the show paused for messages, viewers saw advertisements for the sale of the Century on Buzzer and the PowerFit Elite vibration platform, which promised a firm and sexy body through muscle confusion. There were also mentions of the Pray.com app featuring Drew Brees and legal services for mesothelioma claims. When the show returned, the wives were reunited with their husbands. Bobby checked the first set of predictions. Catherine said Kirk holds his tongue when she argues, but he had predicted rolling his eyes. Miranda correctly identified that Conan rolls his eyes because she repeats herself too much, earning them 5 points. Julie thought David held his tongue, but he had actually said he rolls his eyes. Karen guessed rolling eyes, but Joseph had predicted holding his tongue, mentioning the little things he keeps quiet about. Moving to the romantic graph, Miranda guessed it went down by 90%, which was close to Conan's 50% prediction. Julie also guessed a 90% drop, while David had said 100%. Karen surprised everyone by saying it went up by 50% because she had been working on Joseph to be more romantic, though he had only predicted a 20% increase. Catherine claimed it went up 100%, but Kirk had predicted a 50% decrease, leading to a humorous discussion about their different perceptions of romance and sex drive. Regarding the science and junkyard question, Julie guessed her white shoes and suit, which did not match David's feet and car. Karen guessed her big toe and car, missing Joseph's brain and lower back. Catherine guessed her feet and the phone, which was quite close to Kirk's toes and clothes. Bobby awarded them the points as Kirk had specifically mentioned her toes. Miranda guessed her brain and blanket, while Conan had said fuzzy slippers and bicycle. The show took another break, featuring more information about the Generac power cell for home energy storage, New Year sales at Rugs USA, quality steaks from Omaha Steaks, and the hidden object game June's Journey. In the second half, the husbands were secluded, and the wives were asked questions worth 10 points each. Bobby asked if their husbands would say they have more complaints about little things or big things. Julie, Miranda, Catherine, and Karen all unanimously agreed it was the little things. Next, he asked which of their husbands' friends he would consider the sexiest. Miranda named Aaron, Catherine mentioned Nigel, Karen chose Jenna, and Julie picked Marty. Finally, the wives were asked how they would complete the sentence saying they can tell their husband is getting older when they look at his what. Catherine said his feet, Karen said his waistline, Julie said his stomach, and Miranda said his grey hair. For a 25-point bonus, they were asked which credit card their husband used last. Karen said MasterCard, Julie said Visa, and both Miranda and Catherine said something else. After a final break highlighting Betty White's birthday and the work of DAV for veterans, as well as Dinnerly and Navage, the husbands returned. Conan and David both correctly predicted their wives' complaints about little things, as did Joseph and Kirk. In the sexiest friend category, Kirk and Catherine matched on Nigel, causing much laughter. Conan matched with Miranda on the idea that his friend Aaron was the one. When asked about the signs of aging, Joseph guessed his beard, but Karen had said his waistline. Kirk also guessed his beard, missing Catherine's answer of his flat feet. Conan correctly guessed grey hair, matching Miranda. David successfully matched with Julie on the stomach. As the show reached its climax, Bobby announced that the winning couple would go to Madrid, Spain, staying at the Hotel Melia Castilla and flying Air Europa. The final bonus question about the credit card decided the game. Kirk and Catherine matched on something else, bringing them to 45 points. David and Julie matched on Visa, also reaching 45. Joseph missed the match with Visa. Finally, Conan and Miranda matched on something else, reaching 50 points and winning the trip to Spain. Bobby thanked the couples and the audience, closing another delightful episode of the Newlywed Game.